Get good, noobs! Jay here. Man, I hope you had a good ass 4th of July. I did. I spent it, of course, out thrifting at the flea market. This is one in Michigan here that only happens 3 to 5 times a year. So 4th of July happened to be one of those days, and I was like, I'm gonna go find some shit. I'm gonna go find some shit. And there's a lot, so I'm kind of gonna just power through it. All right. Oh wait, I forgot one little bag here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's get this one close. I think we got it all near. Okay. Boom. So when you first walk into a flea market, you don't really have a lot of time to look at shit. I'm looking for things like movies, video games, stuff like that, collectibles. I heard 2 dudes in line talking about games. We're looking for games, Super Nintendo games, all this shit. And I was like, oh man, they're going to try to steal all my fucking shit before I even find it. So the first row, I just plowed straight down the center. And I was like, I don't have time to look up shit, see what they're worth, any of that. And I just started kind of grabbing any games that I thought might be of value or that I didn't have just in case I got stuck with them. So I ended up hitting this first booth. And of course, right when the flea market opens, there's no haggling. Like no one's taking any offers. So you just kind of got to fucking pay what they have. But I had never seen some of these games before. And I was like, I don't know if they're worth anything, whatever. So I grabbed Dark Kingdom for the PS3. I did pay $5 for that. Like I said, when you first get there, you're paying up a little bit. I grabbed Devil May Cry 2 for $5. I think I do have the HD collection, so I'll probably just sell that. But I looked these 2 up, and they weren't worth much. Legend of Alundar. This is some RPG for the PS2, looks like. This one was strange, because some places I looked, it was selling for $25, and some places it was like $13. So I don't know. I listed it, of course, on the one that was selling for $25. We'll see if that goes. And then I did pay $8 for this. I don't know why. But Superman Shadow of Apocalypse for the PS2. Like I said, these first fucking booths, man, you just kind of had to scoop shit up. And these were the only ones that I was like, I've never seen these out, so I'm going to take a risk. Because those other 2 fucking dudes were hightailing it right behind me to look for the same shit. So I was like, alright, I just going to grab what I can grab. And we moved on to another booth. This is actually a video game guy that I've seen there before. I think I was there 2018, something like that, and I had bought some stuff from him then. But right on top of his box, I saw 3 Burnout games for the PS2. It was Burnout 2, Burnout, and Burnout Dominator, which I think I have this one on the Xbox, maybe? I don't even know if that one's backwards compatible, but I grabbed these. He had $5 each on these. So I saw Crackdown for the Xbox 360 and Ghost Rider for the PS2. And I kind of just threw it out there. I was like, what would you do your best on these? And he just was like 15. So I was like, all right, I would have probably paid $5 for these because they're in really good condition. And to get these for free, I don't know if I'll keep these or not, but I don't think they're worth a lot either because he only had 3 and 4 on them. So we paid $15 for these 5 games just because I wanted the Burnout games and I had to get something fucking free. I mean, it was already like, fuck, I'm paying up for everything. Why the fuck am I doing this? So I walk up to this old guy, and he's trying to sell me some. He saw me looking at the VHS, and he's trying to sell me some dirty, crusty fucking Disney VHS tapes that they've seen better days. And then I see a box under the table, and he goes, "Oh yeah, anything you find in there, I'll just do a couple dollars or whatever." So I thought it was funny that he had all the VHS that were just terrible condition on the table, but then he had all these DVDs and stuff in a box buried under the table. But I start digging through it, and I find Star Wars Starfighter for the Xbox. I find this cassette tape of the Chipmunks Monk Rock, which I actually had this as a kid. I remember distinctly listening to this. They have Hard Day's Night, California Girls, This Diamond Ring, Tambourine Man, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Downtown, Can't Buy Me Love, What's New, Pussycat, and Twist and Shout, sung by the Chipmunks. And I fucking had this tape. That's pretty funny. I'm gonna listen to that and have some fucking weird psychedelic flashbacks to my youth. Highway. This is a DVD. I've never heard of this movie or seen it, but it's Jake Gyllenhaal, Selma Blair, and Jared Leto. So I grabbed that. Embrace of the Vampire. This is a remake of that. Was it Alyssa Milano, the erotic vampire? Ooh, shit! I'm dropping shit. Losing It VHS. I pulled this out of there because it said Tom Cruise and Shelley Long, and I guess it's a comedy about losing your virginity. I don't know. Look at young ass Tom Cruise there and Shelley Long. Even there, she looks fucking 10 years older than him. I don't know. Comedy, 104 minutes, 1982. It was like, I've never fucking heard of that movie, so I pulled that out. And then for good measure, I grabbed a couple of blank tapes, but they're older ones, and they have either Jewel of the Nile and White Knights, or they have Europe 94, France, Paris, Rome, Venice. Some of these home movies? I don't know. Maybe. Can you see that? And it's part 1 and part 2. So I was like, well, if it is the family vacation, I can't miss out on the second half. Might be a honeymoon. Might have some fucking honeymoon tapes here. So I grabbed those and I pulled all that stuff out of the box and I was like, what do you need for this? He was like, I don't know, $4. I said, how about 3? He said, sure. I was like, fuck, great, whatever. I hit another one, and there was a giant old chest, which was funny because it was full of DVDs, and the chest was probably worth way more than any of the fucking DVDs in the chest. But they were in there so fucking tight that I'm like, there's no way I can even look through this. So I kind of looked at the guy, and I was like, that's a real dense chest full of movies you have there, my friend. He goes, I know, it's kind of hard to look through, right? And I was like, yeah. So he pulls out a tub and puts it next to me. He goes, oh, you can just, like, cycle through them. He's like, if you find anything, I'll cut you a good deal, since you had to work for it. And I was like, all right. So the first thing I see is a brand new, was this a Netflix movie or something? I know I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. Wish Upon. I think it's a horror movie. It says from the creators of Annabelle. I feel like I remember hearing about this, but I don't know if it was like a Netflix movie and I just didn't watch it. Some other movie with Edward Furlong and Randy Travis. What the fuck? The Visitation. I don't know. Some horror movie, I guess. Just know it's got a Goodwill sticker, but these were the ones that I found that the discs were really good. There was 1 or 2 that I put back just because the discs were a little scratched up. Season 1 of American Horror Story. Blu-ray even. And American Dad, Volume 7. And then I see Minecraft Story Mode. I watch a lot of YouTube videos of resellers, and I remember someone mentioning that this was worth something. Well, I looked it up today, and it wasn't worth like a lot, maybe 13, but he had 5 on it. And so with this stack here, I was like, what do you need? He goes, how about $7? And I was like, it's fine. Since he had 5 on the game and the rest were basically a throw-in, I was like, sure, I'll give you $7. So I hand him some money, and he hands me back the movies. And when I walked, I'm walking down the thing looking at other sales, and I look at the stack that he handed me in my hand because he was getting change out, and he had given me this as well. I was like, oh, I don't know if he meant to throw this in there or not, but I don't know where he found it because he set his shit on a table next to him, but I guess I got this for free. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I've never seen this one, so I might watch it. I've only seen like the old British one. So, sure, all that for $7. We stopped at a booth. I saw a bunch of Pokemon shit, and I'm not into Pokemon, but I know they sell well. So I saw some DS games on top of a book of cards, and he was like, the games are $25 each, and I was like, ooh. But then I saw next to another stack of DS games, and I started seeing Mario's beautiful face. So I grabbed out Mario Maker 3DS, Mario Kart 7, Super Mario Bros. 2, and Smash Brothers for the 3DS. And I was like, oh, those ones are $25. What do you got on these ones? And he's like, how about $5 each? And I was like, pretty sure I've seen them sell for more than that. So I don't have a 3DS, but these are in amazing condition. And I think a lot of them are complete ish. Like they don't. That one has a thing like don't have a book. This one has the manual Mario Kart there. So I mean, yeah, I think they all got their manuals. So for $5 each, I grabbed those. I'll resell these. I don't know how much more they're worth. I know Walmart just kind of clearanced out all of their DS and 3DS stuff for like $10. So I don't know where that market is right now. It might be kind of low because there was so much flooding the market and people only had $10 into it. But we grabbed those for 5 each. Oh yeah, my buddy Joe saw these, and he's like, Jay. So I heard the guy yell at him, I'll give you both those for 5, and I was like, sure. I want to keep one. This is the better condition one, the orange one, because it's got the perfect image on both sides. This one has one side pretty faded. I don't know if you can see that. The green's kind of blowing out where the paint's gone on the camera, but oh, this one's probably easier to spot. So I grabbed both of these for 5, as well as what else did that guy have? Oh, he had this Boris Karloff comic. So I gave him $1 for that. He had a shit ton of comics to go through. There was a bunch of like Disney, like Donald Duck, Scrooge McDuck, which were cool, but I'm more into the horror comics wise. But I don't know, looked kind of old. This will go in my collection. I got some old horror comics. And he also had, if I can remember where the hell I put them, he had a box full of tapes. And I don't know if I've put the video out yet, but it will be out soon. A box full of cassette tapes. At a yard sale recently, I had found a bunch of cassette tapes, blank ones. 30 of them, I paid $1 for them. And the high bias ones, which these were, or are, the high bias tapes were selling like 3 or 4 of them for like $25 to $30. So I grabbed these off that guy's table as well, and I was like, what do you need on these? And originally with that stuff, he tried to tell me he wanted $30, which is fucking crazy because that stuff's only $6. So he wanted $24 for this shit. And I was like, oh, I'm good. And then I put him back and I started walking away, and he goes, I'll do 3 each. And I was like, no, that's still $15. He goes, I'll do $2 each. And I was like, all right, I'll give you $10 for the tapes because I know I can get more. Like I said, the last 2 lots I sold was 3 tapes and 5 tapes for $25 and $30. So I paid him $10 for these. I'll get that back. The other ones sold as soon as I fucking listed them, to the point where I was like, shit, did I not list them high enough? Another booth had the best scary movies of all time, horror cinema. This book looks really cool. It's a big, thick boy. It's a thick boy. And it's got just really cool shit all the way through. Pumpkin, is that Pumpkinhead there? I gotta be careful because there was some like nudity and so make sure I don't show you none of that. But yeah, there's like the history of horror here, the greatest horror films of all time. So that's kind of cool. I'll be checking this out. There's Freddy. This, of course, will be in my collection. I paid $5 for this. That was okay since it's for me, you know. I saw another table. Oh, I didn't bring it over here. There was a Kinect camera laying on the table for the 360, and I was like, "What do you need for this?" She was like 10, and I was like, "All right, well, do you have any games or whatever with it?" She pulls up a box and pulls out a few games, and she's like, "I'll throw these in if you want for 10." And I was like, "Sure." I don't need a Kinect. I don't know what they're worth right now, but I feel like I've seen somewhere that you can use them as a webcam or for streaming or something. I don't know. I feel like there's probably a good market or a good use for it, at least. So I gave her $10 for it, and she threw in these games, which I feel like I might be able to get $10 back on, at least. We got Garden Warfare, Plants vs. Zombies for the 360. Kung Fu Panda 2. This is a Kinect game for the 360. And Just Dance 2015. I know some of these hold value. I don't know if this one does. Gauging by the pre-owned $10 on there. I don't know how old those are. But I don't know. Even if I get $5 each, I got the Kinect for free and got $5. So I'm okay with that. Found this sitting at one of the booths For as dusty and dirty as this flea market usually is, this controller is in amazing shape, and it feels very unused. So I was like, take 5. He's like, sure. So whenever I find original controllers for 5 or less, I'll always grab them, especially PS2 and stuff. I have so many PS2 games, and it would be a shame if I ever broke a controller and I didn't have a backup. So this is a pretty pristine one. It is a DualShock 2. Yeah, it's a DualShock 2. It's not the 6-axis or whatever the hell the other version was. And this was the last thing I found. It was just in the dirt under a table, and I was like, I've never seen one in real life, so I was like, I think that's for the NES right there, right? So I slid it out of the dirt and dusted it off, and it is a power pad. Nintendo power pad, right? And I was like, I've never used these, so I don't know, like, how to tell if they work or not, but I don't have an NES to test it, but it looks like it's actually in really good shape. But, like, I don't know, is there supposed to be, like, a feely button in the pad? Or is it just, because it just kind of feels squishy, but I don't know if it was, like, a membrane trigger in those. So I'm going to have to do a little research on this. But, I mean, the cable and everything is in nice shape. So he had $5 on it, and I was like, I mean, if it doesn't work, I don't know. I was like, will you take 3? And he was like, sure. But, I mean, I figured it was worth a risk for $3. I see some are online for about 20 to 25, somewhere in there. So we'll be reselling that. I guess I'll have to sell it as is because I don't have a way to test it because I don't have an original NES. I play all my NES games on the Mini. So for $3, we risked that. And the Fog. I paid a woman $1 for this. She was asking $2, so you gotta play a little bit. She had a really fun accent. I don't even know where she was from, but she was one of those kooky old women you would say. She said this movie scared the shit out of her when she was young. She's like, don't watch it in the dark. I was like, okay, I've seen it. And also a woman after my own heart, because she goes, the remake sucked. And I was like, yes, it did, lady. Yes, it did. But this is another movie that I collect many versions of. So this beautiful VHS will go in my collection. I have the DVD and the Blu-ray, the laser disc, I think the CED, not the CD, kids, the CED. So we're going to add Fog VHS to our collection for $1. But yeah, I had a great ass time at the flea market for my 4th of July morning. It's a big place. There was more vendors last time I was there, but there were enough this time. It took me like 2.5 hours to cover the whole place, which is, I mean, it's fine. It was hot as fuck. Like, I wanted to take some footage. I had my little camera with me, but I was like, man, it's so fucking hot that I just want to get shit done and go. Because, especially when I realized that there was so many competitors out there. Because even on the other side of the flea market from where I left those two guys to go, I was like, I'm going to put some distance between us. I was on the other side. I know there was no way they could have got over there that fast. And people were like, oh, yeah, a lot of the games already sold and stuff. So, at least that first aisle, the one that I had to pay up for, I got most of what was available there, I think. So, we'll call that a win, I guess. But that's, those are the odds when you're playing the flea market game. Flea markets are cool. Sometimes they are a little overpriced, and you got to think that those vendors are paying a booth fee to be there. So, they kind of have to make their money, So, I get that. It's not like someone's selling online. They don't have to pay for store space and all that shit. But these people are paying a fee to come sell to you. So one woman who I did pay up for the first couple games from, like the $5 a piece games, she gave me, she goes, I'm going to give you my number. I have a store near you. And I was like, oh, okay. So she gave me, I was like, oh, you got a card? And she handed me an Avon book. And she goes, flip it over. My number's on the address label for you can call me and I'll let you come check out the store and check out the games we have. So, I mean, I guess maybe we'll go see what that woman's up to. See if she's got anything good in store. Because she had, I don't know, maybe 10 games out. She was like, I wish I had brought more. I was like, me too. Because you're the first booth I found with games, and I wanted to swoop them from these other motherfuckers. But we'll see what she has in store, and maybe we'll buy some more shit from her. So, yeah, good day at the flea market. On the way home from the flea market, I was like, I still have some of those gift cards from some of the PS5 bundles. So I saw a GameStop that I rarely ever go to. It's not too far from here, but it's just out of the way. And it was actually open on 4th of July. I did not think that most places would be open. So I wandered in. I was looking around. They were doing their buy two get one free sales still, but this store, it seemed like their prices are more expensive than the one I go to, and they didn't have as many like recent titles. I don't know if that was just because of the sale. Maybe they were picked over already. But I saw this sitting on a shelf. This is a brand new Monster Jam Steel Titans. It does have a tear in the seal, but other than that, it is brand new sealed. And they had $20 on this, and I seen that it was marked down from $40. So this is not a game I'd be into, but it is a cool collector's edition where you get like a die-cast car, I believe in it. Yeah. You get this die-cast Gravedigger car. So I looked it up on eBay, and it looks like it goes for about 40 to 60. So I used 20 of my gift cards to grab this. And I'm just going to list it and see if I can get, maybe if I double my money and get 40 for it, that's fine. The car is cool, but I think this game is, I don't know anything about this game, but I feel like it's like a budget game, right? THQ Nordic, though, I mean, that's a good game company, right? So, I don't know. We grabbed this for 20 from GameStop using gift cards, and we'll flip that bitch.